was affected by the 20s when British intelligence made it popular in early talkies when those first came out. So that you could really show you were in the in club. You had to speak with a slight British accent, but that's what was mutated into a Thurston Howell the Third. Oh, Buffy, love it. Would you like to buy some mining stock, Gilligan? Perhaps some derivatives? Yeah, let me show you that I can talk like them. Here, let me talk just like he does. Concerned that today's citizen revolt, see, I can talk like them too, in the United States, Britain, and Europe may upend politics as nothing else has in a lifetime. Traub notes that Britain and the Brexit was a, quote, utter repudiation of bankers and economics. No, of mega 5 banks above the law, tax exempt, that have diplomatic immunity, that openly are funding, taking our guns, taking our property, shutting down local banks. The head of the Texas Banking Association 4 years ago wrote a 19-page giant article that was in the Austin Business Journal. I happened to just see it sitting there, and I was at a restaurant and waiting to pick up some food, and she was, oh my God, did Alex Jones write this? And I found out it was in newspapers all over the state. And he was just saying, it's a global elite taking over. They're shutting down all the local banks. They're shutting down the credit unions. They're shutting down loans. They want to collapse in the economy so they can consolidate it. They're giving themselves the trillions in bailout money and not delivering it actually to the people so that we can loan it out. And then meanwhile, the average idiot thinks the bank down the street that's local or regional is their enemy, when almost all of those are collapsing right now. But I digress. He just goes, they're just against civilization and economics. We're speaking of economics here, something you little people don't know anything about. Well, let me see. 68% of the first 2 years of bailout was in the tens of trillions, not 800 and something billion, and it was given, the vast majority, almost 70%, to foreign banks, and still is secret to this day. And then almost none of it, less than 10%, look it up yourself, has ever actually been put into the economy, into the people. That's how they stop too bad inflation. They go, oh, we're going to have unlimited free money for ourselves, but make sure that we don't spend it anywhere in the retail, low-level market. You don't get any of this money. It might inflate things. So yachts and real estate for the super rich inflate, and that's where the inflation is. That's why it's stratospheric. But don't worry, proletariat. We have confined it to luxury penthouses and 300-foot yachts and private floating cities and private airports and pleasure palaces and armored keeps, redoubts, fortresses, castles, or you could simply call them hideouts. Take your vaccines and drink your aspartame. There. Now there's a haze. Just go to sleepy there. Yes, in all our white papers, we say we put fluoride in the water to dumb you down, and we announce that we're in a war with you. But Pepsi for 1 year took aspartame out because of lawsuits and because no one was buying it. But they snuck it back in last week. Don't worry. Drift away. Enjoy the brain tumors and enjoy the baby flavoring. Now, they take baby flavoring and then synthesize it into a synthetic baby flavoring, but they test the baby flavoring with a DNA cue that is fresh baby. So, to be technical, your Pepsi and Pepsi products is baby flavoring, not babies, but tested by babies. But let me continue here. I'll be intellectual today and speak in this vernacular for you. How does that sound? Continuing. Citing the potential for a Trump to split the Republican Party, even if he does lose, and increasing unpopularity of France's socialist government, Traub argues, another billionaire for socialism, that establishment political parties in major Western countries must combine forces to keep out the nationalist. That's a quote. We must combine forces. Stop them. We claim we just rule you, and we're tax exempt. And we do all these wonderful things like funding radical Islamicists to come in, and then you don't like us. But look, I'm standing on the street in my photo, smiling arrogantly. isn't that what it's, and these so-called elitists, they're a bunch of psychopaths and sociopaths, but they're not even that smart. They just have management systems that have been sputtering on for hundreds of years, dumbing everyone down and engaging in all this criminal activity and wrecking countries and wrecking economies so you can perch on top of them because you can't compete with prosperity. And then you misrepresent what we say about you, trash. And guys like this, Rothkopf and others have been like, join us, Alex, you're smart. Come, you'll be very successful with us. And then later they just, you don't want to be with us? What? Because you go to Harvard and all these places and you work and work and work. And I guess you're from the right family and you work 18 hours a day for years in some law firm. And then finally they invite you to go play golf for them. Kind of like Judge Smales in Caddyshack. He says, how would you like to come by? And mow my lawn. And then after you've done that for another 10 years or so, maybe you marry one of their, interbred, mentally ill daughters and put up with her crap. And then I guess you go in the steam room with dad and then, service him, with your father-in-law. And seriously, folks, then you got a little satanic ritual. And then next you're at the mansion, having some pedophile fun. And Jerry Sandusky drops by. And then you're in the club. And they say, young man, it's time to run you for Congress. That's right. We'll have you in 2 years. I'm just hypothetically talking about the whole genre of these people. Certainly not this guy. He's a wonderful person.
Hi, this is